Let's watch coronavirus 2018 kill some people around here. There's no escaping. None whatsoever. It'll just take you for all you got. It'll try to kill it with some hand sanitizer. You try to take its life with some antibacterial sprays and so forth. You even try to cover your mouth, just like, this fella right here. But at the end of the day, COVID, it's coming. It's unavoidable. It's gonna get you. Just hope you are strong enough and your immune system is strong enough to fight against it. Or else, yep, it'll be gunning for you. Let's see who wins this match. It'll just go through all the little creases and corners of your house. The more you fight it down, the more it'll be coming. And I think those bombs represent the humans that are out there trying to get other humans. You have so much entity fighting against you in this world, and then yet still on top of that, you're gonna still have humans out there going through the same problems that you're going through. But they're not gonna be wishing you well. They're just going to be trying to fight you down, trying to get you to have the virus too, just because they have it. Such is this world. I mean, when you think about it, right? When you see situations where people know that they have the virus and they know that it's contagious and it can live on multiple surfaces, and they don't decide that they want to be quarantined because what happened is they want freedom to go around and pass the virus on to other people. When I heard of the situation of that guy who literally stuck his tongue out and used his saliva to paste it on the wall, on the pole of the train, knowing that full well and all he has corona. That, my friend, was the last straw for me. That's where I drew the line to say, no, people don't care about people. They just, I don't know, they're just selfish. And I can't say people overall in general, because I know there are good people out there who have unfortunately caught the virus and they're doing everything that they can to actually get their shits together and retrace their steps so that everybody else who's been in touch with them would get notified. But I mean, you have people out there who are spiteful. Yep, they don't really care about you or what you're going through. They just want you to suffer, just like they're suffering. Just like the guy who came to Jamaica. He came to Jamaica, got quarantined because he had the virus. And then, all of a sudden, he's like, oh, I need to go pick something up from a family member or some such. And then after picking that thing up from that family member, which was supposedly a bag, he jumped in the car and rode away. Like, literally drove away in the car from the quarantined area. And the person who carried him away, shame on you too. Shame on you. You have no sense whatsoever. You're bringing that virus out there into the world to affect everybody else. I mean, think about it. When you go out there and affect everybody else and bring up the numbers, how are you going to survive? When everybody's in a state of shock and panic and everybody's being quarantined off because the virus is getting too severe and the population is getting too contaminated, what's going to happen then? You're going to be one of those persons in the lot just the same. So, quarantined earlier so that your family members who are out there get to survive. Or quarantined with all of your family members included. What would you prefer, dummy? Anyways, I'm through cursing the people out who are suffering because, I mean, I don't know what that quarantine area is like. He must have had a good reason why he ran away. What I am cursing out now is I went in town today just to get myself some hand sanitizer. Why? Because, you know, it's said to help with the virus and all. So yes, I went in town trying to find hand sanitizer, but due to the fact that the virus is fairly new, really, really new, and people need hand sanitizer, they're in panic and they want to protect themselves, so they're getting hand sanitizer. So I'm not complaining about that, the fact that I wasn't able to find any for myself. I'm not even gonna bitch about it. What I'm complaining about is that guy on the street, that random guy who bought a $200 bottle hand wash, regular hand wash that you can buy from a convenience store or supermarket or anywhere that you want to pick up a hand wash for to have it in your bathroom. Yes, he bought one of those. After buying it, what he did was strip the label off of the hand wash. If you can tell what the hand wash looks like, they're sometimes multicolored, and if it's a good ones, they're not that liquidy, they're really thick in the bottle, and they're in that pump spray bottle. So yeah, that's the type of soap that was actually being ripped off. Like, the labels are being torn off, and they're on the street like hand sanitizers. They're literally calling it hand sanitizer, changing the label on it, calling it a hand sanitizer, and then trying to sell it to people for $400. $400 freaking dollars. Can you believe that? I just looked at him and I laughed. I am not gonna say that, you know, I didn't do something bad, because I know I did. I regret not doing anything afterwards, but I mean, on these streets are not safe these days, so I didn't want to risk it, because I did see a girl. She was just a schoolgirl. We were both passing the guy at the same time. And when he said hand sanitizer, I mean, it's really in need. It's in high need. So when you say hand sanitizer, I bet everybody around you will be looking. But I mean, the thing about it is, when he said hand sanitizer, both of us turned around and looked at the same time. Both. Her and me. I was talking on my phone at the time with my spouse, my person. What happened is, the minute he said hand sanitizer and I looked in his hands, I know what a hand wash looks like. What a those soap and pump bottles. I know what it looks like because I use those on a daily. And so when he said hand sanitizer, I immediately looked at him, hand one of them to the schoolgirl because she turned around at the same time and she was like, "Sell me one." And I looked at the bottle that he was handing to her. It was labelless. And I looked at the other one that was in her hand, which had a label on it. The one the one in his hand, sorry, that had a label on it. It read hand wash. So when I saw it, I'm like, I said it to my spouse on the phone, and I said it loudly. So I'm sure the female should have heard. I was like, this nigga is here selling hand sanitizer. I'm sorry. Hand wash for hand sanitizer. And he's selling it for $400. I said it, and I said it loudly. Even though I walked off, I said it before I got even far. So I know it was audible. I know it was. She should have been able to hear me. She continued to buy what she was buying. I never want to get myself in trouble because, people be dangerous out in the streets and so on. So basically, after I said what I said, I just kept walking. I never said anything further to her because I didn't want to get in problem. Like, he go and, approach me to say that I'm stopping his business or anything. I just said what I had to say and I walked away. I went into the supermarket. I checked in there to see if there was any hand sanitizers as well. There still wasn't any. And then after that, I came back out of the supermarket and I passed him by just the same. He had sold the one to the kid already, and he was just there tearing off the labels off the rest of them so that he could sell them too. Yep. He was doing that. I looked at him and he saw me look at him because he heard me say what I said before I walked off. When I looked at him and he saw me looking at him, I just laughed and shook my head. There's nothing else I could have done. I laughed, I shook my head, and I just passed. I'm about to kill you. Yep. I think you wanted to die. Let's go see what's in your box. So yeah, that's all of what's happening in this day's society. It's very wretched. It's very sad to think that people want to protect themselves and you're gonna be ripping them off. You don't know where people get their money from. That could be their last that they're trying to use to get some form of protection, and you're just gonna rip them off like that. I mean, that's just sad. But I guess I can understand from his point of view too, as much as it's really bad, because he's probably just trying to, make a quick buck while he can, and he's probably thinking these stupid people who thinks hand washes, hand sanitizers are worth fooling. But I mean, it was a school kid. You could have just, say, okay, I was just messing around, school kid. This is a hand wash. Do you still want to buy it? I mean, I did get ripped off also. can't say nothing about that because they just switched up the labels on things because they're in high need. So, like, I went to get some wipes, just some regular old wipes that normally cost $200 in Jamaican. So, 280 Jamaican dollars. They literally almost doubled the price. It was like 390 for it. They hiked the price up real damn good. Ooh. I think that's where I should be. Yep. They sure hiked the price up. And so, I just had to pay my money, bought 2 of those, and just went on my merry little way. Ooh, that just flew past my head. That kind of sounded sweet. Those bullets flying past like swoosh, swoosh. Okay, so he was using an AKM.